Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. It's Sunday afternoon, Sunday, September the 21st, and beautiful day here actually. Been out working in the yard, in the field, getting some functional fitness in. On my lunch break today, I took a look at Instagram. I don't often look at Instagram, but I did today, and I saw what attracted my attention was what appeared to be like a face-off with Andy Ruiz Jr. and Deontay Wilder. And then I noticed that one of the big channels, I think Seconds Out, had been reporting that there was some sort of discussion or something like that between these two. And in fact, Andy Ruiz said in his Instagram post, "Coming soon to a ring near you." And I thought that could be a really interesting heavyweight fight. Now, let's be clear. 5 years too late? But it would be a hugely entertaining fight, I think. Both former world champions. Of course, Andy Ruiz beat AJ back in 2019 when he came in as a late replacement because Big Baby Miller, a PED aficionado, had, obviously mistimed his doses. And Andy Ruiz came in as a late replacement, was dropped by AJ, but then managed to stop AJ. Now AJ won the rematch against a substantially bigger Andy Ruiz. I think Andy Ruiz took all his winnings and ate and drank his way through them. But Andy Ruiz is a fighter I like. It's very fast hands. His record is 35-2-1. So he lost the rematch against Anthony Joshua. He then lost against Joseph Parker, right? And most recently, he drew with Big Baby Miller, which, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, a lot of people are unhappy about that draw. And I suspect a lot of people on both sides of the house, right? But anyhow, but 35-2-1. He's known as the Destroyer, and I can't remember off the top of my head how old he is, but he's certainly marching on towards the end of his career. Though, interestingly, one of the people he beat relatively recently, Luis Ortiz, is still in action and knocking people out. I saw was it yesterday, he knocked somebody out. And Luis Ortiz is what, mid-40s? Keeping going. What a, I often think about Luis Ortiz. If he hadn't been avoided so much, he coulda, But anyways, getting back to Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder. Now, Deontay Wilder, of course, former long-time WBC champion. I think it's fair to say sheltered or carefully matched, right? His record is 44-4-1. Now, he drew with Tyson Fury, and then he lost back-to-back against Tyson Fury. And then recently he's lost to Joseph Parker and, of course, to Zhilei Zhang. A lot of people now are saying, well, how good was Deontay Wilder? Although if you go back some years, people were saying like, wow, he's a killer, right? He had that one-trick pony kind of thing. But it's one hell of a trick. Like, he was knocking all sorts of guys out, including Luis Ortiz. He was losing. I think it's fair to say, in a number of Deontay Wilder fights, Deontay Wilder appeared to be losing. And then, boom, he resets their computer to, factory settings, right? And, but recently he's not been able to find that. He hasn't been able to produce that snap. Because I think Deontay Wilder doesn't rely upon the power. Of course, a lot of power, but he's not thudding impacts, but it's that sharp, like cracking a bullwhip kind of thing. And I think he's lost that. But Andy Ruiz is also not the Andy Ruiz that beat Anthony Joshua. So yes, this would be a fight between two somewhat elderly fighters. I think Deontay Wilder's 39. So fighters towards the very end of their career. But it would be a good fight to sort of draw a line under this era, right? This era is definitely coming to a close. AJ's talking about retiring next year or maybe the year after. Tyson Fury, your guess is as good as mine. Alexander Usyk leaving the stage as well. Joe Joyce leaving the stage, or probably should leave the stage. Chisora on the way out. One more fight left. Dillian White says he's sticking around, but we all know. Even guys like Robert Helenius announced today that he's packing it in. Of course, he's coming off a drug ban, right? How much more does Deontay Wilder have? How much more does Andy Ruiz have? So we may as well, honestly, see these guys fight it out. I think it would be an entertaining fight. If that does happen, I will put money on Andy Ruiz. I think Andy Ruiz would be able to beat Deontay Wilder. But let me know, is this something that interests you? Do you think it could happen? Have you seen the Instagram post? Are we just being teased because they can? Or is there something to this? I'd like to see the fight, to be honest with you. And let me know what you think. Also, please like, please share, please subscribe. And on that note, I've noticed that my channel is getting a lot less. YouTube is not pushing it out to new viewers. And I thought, maybe it's just me, like maybe we've reached some sort of ceiling. But I read something recently from, Boxing History in Color, like a big channel with like 40,000 people. And they were saying the same thing. So some of these boxing channels are not getting pushed out by YouTube. So if you are watching this, could you please do me a solid and hit the subscribe button? That would really help. But anyways, most importantly, carry on watching the channel and, give me some feedback on the comment section, and have a fabulous day wherever in the world you are. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers. Bye-bye.